What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a new vehicle. Well, not new to me, but new to the channel. I've had this truck for about 2.5 years now, and it's been in the family even longer than that. It used to belong to my older brother, and I've had it for a couple years now, and it's finally time to get it back on the road. Now, this is a 1973 Ford F350 camper special. Had the rear axle set back just a little bit farther to support the weight of a camper on it. Overall, it's in pretty good condition. Hardly any rust on it. It's mostly just surface rust, which is amazing for here in Michigan. The interior needs a little bit of work. You can see here that it's a little worn out. Definitely needs some carpet or something down there. Some help on the steering wheel. And then do something to these door cards as well. The bed's got a few dents on it, of course, from being used over the years. But other than a little bit of surface rust, it is also in pretty good shape. So we're gonna work on getting it back on the road, then we'll worry about the body. Got this tire up here that is completely flat. We're gonna try to put some air in that today. Hopefully it'll air up. I'm getting new tires for anyways, so not a big deal either way. Let's go ahead and pop this hood and check out what we got underneath there. Alright, so underneath the hood we have a Ford Big Block 390 V8. Now this motor does run. I know the carburetor leaks. It also needs some fuel line replaced to get fuel to the engine. But once we do that today, we should be able to fire it up and hopefully drive it around a little bit, as long as I can get that tire to take air. So let's go ahead and get the carb pulled off. Then we're going to go ahead and move up by the shop and put some new seals on it. Well, I am now realizing that this is not the stock carburetor for this motor. The stock carb was a 2-barrel, which is what I got the rebuild kit for. And this is a 4-barrel Autolite that may have come off a late 60s motor, which also means I got a different intake manifold there, it looks like. So we're not rebuilding the carb yet. I'm going to go ahead and run the fuel line from the tank to the selector switch, and then the selector switch up to the fuel pump there, and then we'll go ahead and try to start it from there and see where the carb's leaking from. So we're going to go ahead and lay down a little bit of cardboard here, because even though it's inevitable that I am going to get wet because it's starting to rain again, I would like to protect myself as much as I can from the water and the dirt down there on the ground. So go ahead and grab a few tools. I got a brand new roll of 25 feet of fuel line. Hopefully we won't need the whole thing. And then somewhere in my bag here, also got a bunch of hose clamps. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of these with me, and then we're going to go ahead and crawl underneath the truck. All right. So there's really not any room down here, especially since this exhaust is in my way. But right up here, if I can get the camera to the right spot, right up here is our selector valve, which selects which fuel tank the truck is using. Over here is our fuel tank, so I got to run a piece of line from there up to the valve here, and then we'll run it forward. Now that we got that in, go ahead and squeeze on out here to the outside edge again and get it connected up to that switch. You probably still can't see it that well, but this one's a little bit easier to get to at least, because it's not way underneath the truck. So I fed the fuel line through here, so we just got to figure out which one of these 4 spots this connects to. So yeah, that could be the fun part. After a little bit of research, tracing lines back from the motor to that valve, it actually looks like it was already connected the whole way there. So maybe the only fuel line it actually needed was that little 6-inch piece right back by the fuel sending unit. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a battery, throw it in here, we'll crank it over, pour a little bit of gas in the carb to get it started, and then see if it'll run from there. Let's get this battery set up in there. fire juice here. Pour that in the carburetor, get it primed, and we'll see what we got. Alrighty. Come on, baby. Alrighty, come on, baby. I don't think we got enough juice. Alrighty, looks like we're gonna have to grab some jumper cables, hook up my car. Alrighty, so I actually switched a different battery into it as well as hooked it up to the X3 to try to give it a little bit of a jump. So let's go ahead and see what it does now. Alright. A little bit of a fire. Might need a little more fuel in there. Alright, time for a little more fire maker. Come on, baby. Running out of juice there. All right, we'll give it a little bit longer to charge up from the X3, and we'll try it again. While we're waiting to get a little more charge on the battery, let's go ahead and grab the air tank, see if we can't get that front right tire to hold a little bit of air. Hopefully, as long as it'll just pump it up a little bit, then I'll have enough to drive it up to the shop and hook it up to the air compressor. So, let's see. All right. Please inflate. Oh yeah, she's moving. Not much, but it's moving. Cool. Looks like that tire is still on the bead, so we should be able to drive this up to the shop to get some more air in it. Still got about 50 psi in my tank, so we'll go until it stops transferring over, see how much pressure we have. As long as I got like 15 psi in there, I'm good to drive it a few feet. I'm putting new tires on here anyways. Alright, and she's pretty well stopped. Looks like we got right about 30 psi in there, so that's really not bad at all. Alright, let's go ahead and put this tank back, and then we'll try starting it up again. Hopefully it'll fire, then we can drive it up to the shop, as long as it's drawing fuel out of the tank. Alright, let's see what she does. There we go. Alright, let's try it again. Not running very happy, but she's running. Oh, and she died. Let's see if we can get her going again. All right. Now this thing is basically running open headers. Basically running open headers, so you're not going to be able to hear me at all. Come on, baby. Alright, so we're going to try something else and see if this works. So I put a little bit of fuel in the carburetor again to get it fired off. And then I also disconnected the fuel hose from the valve over here and ran it straight into the tank of gas that I had out here. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see if we can get some fuel drawn through from that tank to keep it running. gosh, this thing is super loud right now. Like I said, because it's running open headers. You probably can't even hear me. I'm yelling right now. She is running. Alright, let's go ahead and shut it off. Alright, so now that it is running and we know it's pulling fuel with the fuel pump, I'm going to go ahead and hook that hose back up correctly where it needs to go. We'll see if we can figure out which direction this switch needs to be. So the truck shut off again, and after a little bit of digging, apparently one of the metal hard fuel lines in the truck was clogged up or something, so it wasn't getting enough fuel through it. So I went and ran a just plain rubber line to the tank. So let's go ahead, see if it'll start up. Hopefully it will, and stay running now. And then we can finally take it up to the shop and drive it around. There we go, that's a little better. All right, we are in business. All right, let's see if we can get it up there. Come on, baby. Oh, we're moving, barely. This thing needs some tranny fluid in it, I think. But she is moving. Just take it nice and slow until we get her up there. Well, I managed to find one of the quarts of automatic transmission fluid that I bought for the truck, since I need type F for this. And this is the only Ford I've ever owned. I don't have a lot of that sitting around. So we're gonna go ahead and put the one quart in and see if that's enough. If it is, we'll go ahead and drive it around a little bit. If not, we'll go ahead and park it until I have a chance to get some more fluid, because I don't want to hurt the transmission any more than it already has been. So let's go ahead and put this quart in and see where we're at. That is it today for the F350. I had just enough transmission fluid to get it driven around the farm here just a little bit, but not enough to really take it out on the road and let it stretch its legs yet. Hopefully next time we'll get some new wheels on it. I got to get some more transmission fluid, of course, and a few other things to make it safe for the road again, so I can take it down to my shop and get it all ready to go to start driving it a little more now that it's finally back up and running. I'm so excited about that. So make sure to stay tuned for more updates on the truck and some other crazy projects I have planned for this summer. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below and also hit that notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate you so much. See you on the next one.